Welcome back to another video, guys. It's Blaze, and The Outer Worlds makes its way onto the Nintendo Switch on June 5th, which is just a few days away, and I'm super pumped to play it now. We're going to talk about it today, but first, smash that thumbs up button before you do anything else, and hit the subscribe button because we've just hit 2,000 subscribers. Also, check out our Nintendo Switch forum over at nintendoradar.com. I put a link in the description, and guys, literally, it takes 5 seconds to register, and then you can start talking about the Nintendo Switch, meeting new people, and just having a blast, getting excited about the Switch. So I'll see you on there, but let's get into the video. Now guys, The Outer Worlds is an incredible first-person action role-playing game from Obsidian Entertainment. That's the same developer responsible for Fallout New Vegas, so you will get those little Fallout vibes, which I love. Now, it's making its way onto the Switch on June 5th. Now that's a mere 6 months after its console and PC counterparts. That's pretty soon. It took The Witcher 3 years to get ported to the Switch, so the fact we're getting this just less than a year after the other releases, that's pretty damn good. I'm glad it came. I'd rather have it than not have it on the Switch. So the question is though, how well does it run on Nintendo's underpowered little miracle console? The same console that somehow managed to get ridiculous, miraculous ports of games like The Witcher 3, Skyrim, and more recently Bioshock and Borderlands, which I did videos on the channel, so go check them out. Well, good question, because it depends on your eyesight and how finicky you are about textures. The Switch port of The Outer Worlds proudly boasts all of the content. Yes, that includes all the amazing, fantastic voice acting that they included, but naturally trade-offs were made to get this beauty of a AAA game on the Switch. Now, the game is locked to 720p portable mode, which to be honest is expected and not that big of a deal, because the original Switch and the Switch Lite max out at 720p anyway in portable mode. They've only got 720p screens. So what's most surprising though is the fact that it gets cranked up to 1080p while docked, which is an incredible feat considering this is a AAA game that was released only 6 months ago. So they've pretty much did the same thing that Borderlands and Bioshock did, 720p handheld, 1080p docked, and the game runs at a solid 30 frames a second, which in my opinion is pretty respectable and more than sufficient for games on the Switch. Now, I'll be the first to tell you I'm a bit of a frame rate snob, with anything less than 60 being unplayable in my opinion on PC and consoles, but surprisingly when it comes to the Switch it's not something that's been an issue really. I've been happily exploring the world of Pandora, as you've seen in my streams, on the newly released Borderlands collection just fine in 30 frames a second, so I expect this to be a non-issue as well. And let's face it would be a bit greedy to ask for 60 frames a second and 1080p. That'd be a bit too much for the Switch to handle. But guys, the biggest trade-off happens to be the huge drop in texture quality, especially from a distance. Now, Obsidian put a crap ton of effort and love into building this world with quirky art style, signs, billboards, eccentric buildings, features and characters throughout the planets that you'll be exploring in it, but unfortunately you'll not be able to appreciate them as much on the Nintendo Switch, or at least not as much as other platforms. The only way you'll get to appreciate the work put into the art and stuff like that is by going up a lot closer to them, because things like most ported games on the Switch, things are a bit blurry in the distance, but as you get closer to it everything sharpens up and you get to appreciate the proper textures. But yeah guys, this isn't going to be a big issue, especially in portable mode. You know, playing in 720p it kind of compresses everything down, makes stuff pretty sharp, so I don't expect this being a big issue. But here's an example of this. The moon sign of Edgewater here is a good example. You can see the blurriness, the sort of blurriness you can expect when you're going to be playing the game. It doesn't look bad, it doesn't look bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a little bit blurry and you're going to have to expect that, especially when you're playing in docked mode. Now, characters are also pretty blurry, especially from a few feet away, but details begin to flourish as you walk closer and speak to someone, so you'll have to rely a lot on the general shapes of objects, the name pop-ups and the user interface to indicate whether you found the right person that you're looking for. But yeah, pretty common stuff. So guys, the game features gyroscopic aiming, which is great, and it also features auto aim. So if you play with a Pro Controller, the Joy-Cons, or even a third-party 8-bit Dual Controller like I tend to use, it should help in that department. You also have the option to tweak it and choose to have it on all the time, or whether you just want to have it turned on when you're aiming down the sights. So I find that sort of granular control pretty good. Don't you just love it when they put some thought into aiming on Switch games? Because we all know how notoriously bad the Switch thumbsticks are on first-person shooter games. They're just not great. You don't have a lot of control. So having that gyroscopic aiming assist, it really helps. It certainly helped a lot on Borderlands. But yeah guys, overall The Outer Worlds is an extremely playable game on the Nintendo Switch, just as its other AAA counterparts are, like Skyrim and The Witcher 3. But with it being a newer title, it does make some sacrifices. I mean, we know that. Not in the resolution, but in a little downgrade of the textures and how the textures load in from a distance. It does have a locked 30 frames a second, which is relatively stable, but I've heard that it dips down from time to time during combat scenes with large numbers of characters on screen. But the good news is that we've come to expect updates to games on Switch, smoothing out any issues and hiccups in performance over time. So expect this to get better over time, expect the frame rate to get more smoother over time. That's just something we expect now as they patch the game over the release launch cycle. So anyways guys, the takeaway is the game was ported over pretty well, and I think we're all going to be pretty impressed and pretty happy with it. Another downside that I'd like to point out is that there's no cross-save on the Switch version of Outer Worlds, so don't expect to pick up your Switch and carry on from where you left off on the PC version or the console version. But hey, and if enough people ask for it, then they might just bring it, just like The Witcher 3 did. So anyways guys, thank you for watching. I'm super excited to pick this up, and I'm going to be streaming it live on launch day, so make sure you come back to the channel or subscribe and be there for the launch stream that I'm going to be doing. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel to see more Switch content and more tech content. Smash the thumbs up button if you haven't already, and check out our forum at nintendoradar.com. I'll see you on the forum. Peace out guys, I love you, I appreciate you, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.